Welcome back, everyone, to another episode here on the Puks Cove. I'm out at the Enderman farm, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on. There's a bunch of ender pearls here down at the bottom, and the Endermen are not spawning here for some reason. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm sorry, Alchemy. I don't know what's happening here, but it is not working well. What I wanted to do was to repair my shovel a little bit more. I had done about half of it a few days ago, and Mustang was here, and when he decided to leave, all of the Endermen they stopped spawning in this farm, and they were off on the island. So I'm curious if they're all over there still, but they shouldn't be. I wouldn't think. I don't know. Maybe we gotta wait a little bit longer in the end here. I'm not sure, but that's really weird. Like, very weird. Anyway, on to today's episode. Today we are doing someone's done some work here. This is new. Today we are doing some work on completing not completing, but we're going to be starting a new project. And currently the start of this project it's more than a start. It is, Mustang's right here. That's what's going on. Hey, man, you building the path? Oh, I said it with a lisp. Building a path. Yeah, we're going to start work on a new project. And it's something to do for the community. Hopefully a community event can be had from it. Or a couple of events, I'm not quite sure. But what we're going to do, we're going to wait for Mustang to say what he's got to say here. What gets reset and what gets blowed up? What? What gets reset and what gets blowed up? From the dragon. Right on. So he's gonna fight the dragon. Crazy. I'm pretty sure he's gonna fight the dragon. So here we are. We're in our new area, and I'm gonna walk over here. We're not gonna show everything, yes. Oh man, he's gonna be doing a dragon fight. Let's ask, do you need help with the fight? Do you need any help with the fight? We're willing to fight. That's what we're building this for. This is going to be a battle arena. Okay, and what we should actually do, let's fly on up here. This gives us our best vantage point. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, well, if I'm still on, I'll help. There we go. Yes, he's got a plan. So here's our little battle arena. And how it's kind of set up is there's a central mountain right here, which you cannot get to the top of the mountain. You can sort of just scooch along the edge there. So it forces you to go around the sides, so you can't have full control over the entire map. Because that's an important thing for a map. If someone gains control of this mountain, they gain access to control of certain areas of the map. And this one's set up so it's not symmetric at all. Certain areas will have certain advantages and others will have disadvantages. And that's sort of what I wanted for the map. I'm hoping that it's not too detrimental to the process in the end. Where's our sun at here? Good, we still got time. So, like, if we look up top over here, you see that little pillar right there. And that area is going to be one sort of base to this map. And the whole map takes place in this little crater right here. So, it's not the biggest map, but I did time a run from the sand area in the upper left to this hilled area on the top right here. The bottom right. It takes about 15 seconds. And that's going the fast way. The closer times are obviously the one on the bottom left to the top right. There, you can see both the pillars, and that one takes only about 10 or so seconds to get from path end to path end. So, I mean, those guys are going to be a lot closer together. And that's okay. I think that's okay. Now, if you look to the top right, there's sort of a hill overlooking the sand area. So that's going to give them an advantage. So what I wanted to do is in the start of the sand area, I put in a bunch of cactuses. So that is going to, and I should remove actually a little bit of the cactuses along the waterway so that the people up top can shoot the people if they decide to run on the path, or they can take the slower route on the left-hand side through. Let's just go down and have a look here, because that's going to be easier to explain. So the people will be able to shoot from up top of this ledge here if the guys decide they want to take the main pathway. But if they want to take the slower way, they can head through the cactus, but they're going to be safer. But they're not traveling as fast to get to wherever it is that they may be going. So I think this will hopefully be pretty cool. I'm hoping that it'll be a good time. Need to do a bunch more work on it, of course. Put in a couple of the larger stone structures that I wanted. I'm not sure if we'll end up putting in more. I definitely want to build up the ledge overlooking the sand area a little bit more. And I thought that would be cool to have a little sand area. Just something that's a little bit different. Something that may be more defensible, or more defense more so built in mind. And so like this rock structure here prevents a straight line look up to the base that's over here. And this is probably going to be the coolest base. This will also be another very defense heavy base. So that may help lead to certain play styles, or I would love to build in like a capture the flag type of deal, potentially, where you would run to the other person's base, capture their redstone block, bring it back to your base, and you put it on your pedestal. Once you have some, say, three redstone pieces, then it's game over and that team wins. I think that would be a cool thing to try and implement into it, but this could also be used for just a straight up battle with stone swords, or the possibilities are endless. I just need to decorate it. And with these stone structures, again, we've limited sight lines so people can hide, so it does facilitate some closer combat, but we want to leave some areas for longer range combat. Like right in here, we probably don't want anything. Well, we want something a little bit higher to block the pathway so that we can't see up to that top base over there, but we don't want it so high as to completely limit all bow play, because we do want to have some bow play. And in doing, like, say, like a capture the flag, potentially we've got boxes set up with classes, and a certain person can only have one archer, and then you can have two swordsmen, and or something like that, or you can have one bowman and one swordsman, but they can't be both type of deal. So I mean, that could help you work in pairs where the swordsman defends the bowman and moves around the map that way. I'm not really sure. We could play it like we could play the hit mode, where if you get hit by a bow, you could play bows only. Okay, you get hit by a bow, you got to go back to your base, and you're playing to so many kills, or something like that. I'm more of a stealthy game. So the possibilities are endless at this point, and what needs to be completed is just decorating it out. So I need to create a couple of bases for the strongholds up top over there, and one for down over here, and we need one up over there, and I need a little structure up over here as well. So we need 4 structures, and then we need to do some decorating, and whether that is more stone, we maybe put in a tree here and there just to help prevent specific sight lines and arrows that would be flying otherwise. Let's head around this way and have a look. But yeah, there's lots to do, and I'd like to get started on it so that eventually we'd be able to have a battle of some kind. I think that'd be pretty neat. That'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, you get control of this thing, you can potentially book off half the map. Like, you got a couple sightline areas. Like this one, you would have a huge advantage of if anyone's coming down, because you're going to be able to bow play them. But the best place to hide is going to be over here. And so we're going to need a perch up over here so a person can take out this guy. Although if he's over here, this might be the best spot. but you could fall off and cause you can't get back up very easily. I don't know. There's lots you can do in a map, and you don't want to make it too easy or too hard. I'll end up needing some playtesters to help out along the way. But yeah, I'm going to do some more work, although a lot of work has already been completed for this episode. I'm gonna do some more work, and we'll see where that ends up taking us. Would you like to talk about progress? Look at this! A whole other area is officially complete. And I don't even remember exactly where we had this sand village complete, but there's buildings in there now, there's trees. I can't remember if that was in there before. I've done so much work in this area. But here we go. We got our next little area. It's the hellish zone, I guess you could say, the underworld. And let's take a look here. Whoa. Okay, so we have transformed this landscape into Netherrack. We've inserted what are those, the magma blocks or something like that? Let's have a look. Okay, not in this mode. That's fine. I don't know, whatever. They burn you. Okay, so those are cool. We've also got quartz in here, and there's not a lot of cover, so it's going to be difficult to penetrate this base. They also have the hill advantage, so... Ooh, did you see that sheep just die over there? The rotten flesh just sitting there. But anyway, it may force you when you're attacking this place to maybe not take the direct approach if it's being guarded, as there are some good sight lines in here down this pathway. You may be forced to head on down through the pathway over here and find the route up the backside, potentially look in the windows and take some people out. There's some advantage holes over there. And yeah, same with over on this side. Now, these little magma things here, they're not really meant to like really harm you. Like if I were to take all these off, that takes off like half a heart of damage. It's gonna remove your hunger bar real quick, which is what I want, because there's not gonna be any food for your life. So once you run out of health, you run out of health. And if you happen to be coming into this area to battle and you step on one of these, you're gonna lose your hunger. It may lead to your health being lost, but it also acts as some bit of noise. So you hear that, the loud noise there? That's going to alert the people that you're coming to attack. So it's another defense based thing that really helps you have to think about how you're attacking and not just run in there nilly-willy. Same with the cactuses over here. You run into one of these, that makes some noise too, and you lose some health and some hunger. Now, that's not going to be for all the areas. Unfortunately, these are just ones that fit rather nicely. But if we head in here, we've got a walkway. We've got 3 buildings. And this is the first one. It's just a small little guy. Okay, and you can head on up to the top level here, and you can have a look around. You got a couple vantage points out that way. You can look out those windows too. You've also got just a little peek right here. If someone happens to be coming in from over on the castle side, you might be able to just peg them with a shot right there. There's also on the way in just a nice little hiding spot right here on top of the magma, so you got to shift. You got to shift and it won't harm you. As soon as you unshift, you get hurt. So you could get yourself in the base this way, but if someone's up there, you're going to get taken out. I've also included in these buildings, this is similar to the walls over there in the Sandcastle Kingdom, and it's just a little slot that you can shoot out of. So if we have a look here, there's another angle on that entrance. We've also got in this house, we got some shots right here you can take, and depending on where you stand, you can take some different kind of shots. We can head up on the top, and again, we got different views depending on where you are. Just little peaks, and like for this one here, you won't be able to shoot someone way down there. You'll just be able to get a visual on them. So you can look out there. And over here, this will be the spawn house area where the people spawn in from. Right in here, nothing too crazy or fancy. I had it opened up with windows, but then I realized people could see in. So it's just, you're just going to only be able to come out here. Now you can get up on top and have a look. Oh, don't look too carefully over to the right. I don't want to show you what's going on over there. We got something else special. But this is kind of what it looks like. So this is the little base over here. And you can't get up in this tree, which is good. You can't get out, but there's a little bit of room for maneuvering back here and jockeying for position if someone's coming to attack. But if we look over here, we've got something of a snow kingdom. Okay. Ooh, let's head on over. We got a snow area. So this area is pretty well complete too. It needs some work on the interior buildings, but this little kingdom is complete. So now we've got sand, the desert kingdom. We got the like underworld hellish place kingdom area, and then we have the snow, the cold zone, which I think is a pretty cool. But let's head on up here, and I've just used a ton of snow. Some of them you can walk up and down, some you cannot. But we've got a big snow wall here. And for this one, there's no real way to look out, but people can look in. Okay, so they can get some peeks in. The only way to look out is to stand right here. Okay, and you've really only got a peek. You can't defend from this spot. And you can look over here too, I believe. Yeah, you can get just a teeny tiny peek, right? Ah, there you go. I should probably make this snow right here too. But you can get a peek out and have a look through the trees. A little bit of stealth. But you can't shoot directly. Like your only shot directly would be to look at them, have a pop over here, and then fire away. I mean, like we got that decently far. That's pretty good. For the pathway in here, I did it a little different. I just made it snow, and I sort of piled up snow around it, so your eyes are drawn. The heading right there, there's also the hole there that you can be shot out of, which is a similar design to the first initial Desert Kingdom. But you get pulled into this building over here. And this building here, it's got this angle for a view. So I mean, you can get just the tiniest little peek out there. You can just come out the door, maybe, stand right here to have a look on out. That's all you can really see though. So that's cool. I don't think we can get on top here. I'm pretty sure we can't. Yeah, perfect. We don't want them getting up top there. It's just that would give too much of an advantage to be able to see all the way out. Now there's a little spot right here you can stand, and you can see out over here, and like you got a great advantage point right here. But there is no cover, so that's the drawback. Lots of the areas we had are yeah, you can only be seeing certain views, but you're very well protected. This one you can see like everything, but you have zero protection. So if someone can hit you with that bow, it's going to be a lot easier. But is it worth the recon to see everything? I don't know. Now up here, this will be the spawn house area for this land. And again, it needs to be worked out, but we've got just a little bit right here, a little bit of a peek. So this one kingdom, the Cold Kingdom, it's interesting in the sense that it's decently protected. You can't just get in. There's no way to get in other than the front door, and you can't shoot out. Okay, so both the attacker and the defender are fairly well protected. I mean, like you could lob these out and hope you get lucky. Like where did that land? Right there. See, that went pretty far. You could try something like this. Okay, get them on the other side. Maybe you can do it, but you're not going to have unlimited arrows. So that's pretty cool. So your trade-off for not being able to really have all that information is to come up here where you're not protected. So it's your call. Stay protected and have very minimal sight lines, or go for the full recon, which I think is a nice thing for it to be. Now there's one more thing to have a look at, and that's right over here. I've begun work on the final area, and this area is the main castle, the king's area, the heavily defensive fort, the place. This is gonna be the king. The king lives here, and he rules over all three of these kingdoms. And the reason that he rules over the three kingdoms is gonna be the reason to play the game. At least one game rule. or not game rule, game mode, I guess you could say. There's like domination and capture the flag and all that, but we're gonna have our own special mode, which is essentially just a play on the capture the flag. We're gonna call this area the King's Jewels. Okay, so the king lives up in his castle and he's got his jewels. Now, where did he get these jewels, would you say? He stole them from each of these three kingdoms, and that's what allows him to rule over them. So the purpose of the game is there's going to be players that represent the king and do the king's bidding, and then there's going to be the people of the realms. Okay, so it's the realms versus the king. That's what this game is, and it's going to be called the King's Jewels. So what we're going to end up doing, oh gosh, is the three kingdoms that we have here. They are going to be assaulting the castle. The castle is going to be defending against the kingdoms, and the kingdoms are going to attack, take the jewels from the king, bring them back to their corresponding kingdom, which I think is pretty cool. So what you would end up doing, the king has three jewels, one to represent each of the kingdoms. We have the Sand Kingdom, which would be gold blocks. Okay, so you're going to want to steal a gold block back from the king, bring it over to the Desert Kingdom. The Nether Kingdom, they're going to have of course, a redstone block. So you're going to steal that from the king and place it in the kingdom. And for these guys, the Cold Kingdom, well, they're cold, so it would be lapis. That would be the way that you would play the game. You just bring it on over. So I think that's an interesting idea, and I've got a way to do it. We're gonna be playing with some redstone in the next episode to see if it works. To try and get it to work anyway. And we're going to be using this giant mountain here as our scoreboard. So I'm going to bring all the redstone signals all the way over here. I hope that doesn't do anything bad. I'm sure it's going to take an insane amount of redstone, so I'm not looking forward to that. But I want to bring it over there to have a visual scoreboard of what's happening. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes. The redstone it's hit and miss for me, so we'll see. But I think that's gonna do it. Oh, for what's happening here? Why can't I fly? Can I not fly? I would like to fly. Oh, I don't have anything on. That's right. Forgot about that. Here we go. We're gonna head up here just to have a look, as we call this episode complete. It's probably the most productive episode I may have put out in an extremely long time, because like there's a lot of work. I don't know if you remember what this looked like at the start, but it was just pathways, and even that took some work to do that you guys didn't get to see. But yeah, here we are. We got the four kingdoms with the assault on the king right here, which his walls are being done. I guess we never went up here and had a look, did we? Maybe we'll leave that for the next episode. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.